Hi everyone, this is me, Jyotika Bedi, founder of Happiness is Love. Are you sometimes guilty of toxic positivity? Well, I am, and that's why I'm making this video for you. What does it really mean? Toxic positivity, which is an obsession with positive thinking. Well, this is a belief that I had for the longest time, and now I'm learning to challenge myself and really understand what is toxic positivity. It is a belief that people should put a positive spin on all experiences all the time. Well, do you think this is possible all the time? Answer is no, because toxic positivity actually silences your unhealthy, or let's call them negative emotions. For example, grief, and people who might be feeling pressured to feel happy all the time and maybe struggling, because there is no such thing as being happy all the time. And yes, we all are glorifying this idea of constantly being happy. I don't think it's possible. And it's really an illusion. And because I've been guilty of this, I really wanted to make this video today to share with you that a person who's trying to be happy all the time is someone who is failing himself or herself. It is too much pressure on each one of us to constantly put on a happy face and to look as if I am always in a state of positive being. This is something which is toxic, and we need to understand that, of course, there is value and potential in positive thinking, and it improves our mental health. However, there is something called toxic positivity, which actually does not serve us. And there is data that supports and says that yes, positive thinking boosts our well-being and it makes us happier. However, we have to learn to challenge ourselves, catch ourselves, check ourselves when sometimes we may be being toxic. And I'm telling you, because I've been guilty of this, I'm very, very grateful that I have this opportunity to share with you what doesn't work and what toxic looks like, toxic positivity really looks like and feels like. And we have to all be cognizant of this very fact. And this really demands us to challenge our core beliefs, look within, to pause. And let me give you a few examples that you can relate to. Telling a parent that all will be okay and don't worry because their turbulent teen is going through a very challenging time, and telling them that don't worry, it's okay, everything will pass, without actually understanding the parents' pain points or their challenges. You cannot invalidate what people are feeling, and to tell them, oh, don't worry, be happy, is not the right solution. Or if somebody's had a loss, to tell them that it's okay, this too shall pass. Urging someone to focus just on the positive aspect after they've had a devastating loss. Labeling people who always appear positive so that they don't share their other emotions in a healthy way. Urging people to thrive no matter what the adversity is, such as telling people that they must only focus on the good during even Corona times. Yes, we have to, but we cannot negate that times are tough, times are rough. Times have been challenging and dark. We cannot invalidate all of that. We have to not brush others by saying, oh, it could have been worse. Because again, this is what toxic positivity is all about. We have to normalize it's okay sometimes to not be okay. And the question really is it okay to be negative at times? Because as humans, we feel the entire rainbow of emotions, each of which is important for our well-being. For example, anxiety. Anxiety is actually a signal that our body gives us, an alert to a person when we are encountering a dangerous situation. Or let's say I have a project coming up, or I have to make a video, or I'm opening myself to maybe more criticism or judgment. We all feel this natural response. Also when we are feeling mistreated, or we feel sadness when we experience any kind of loss. Not acknowledging these emotions, ignoring these emotions does not serve us. Because in certain degrees and in small doses, anxiety actually propels us towards our goals. It pushes us to achieve our goals. The problem is when it becomes unmanageable and excessive. Also, failing to talk about our unhealthy or negative emotion is something that does not help us. If we block, fight, hide, or swallow our emotions, it's not going to help us lead an authentic life. Rather, we will feel trapped. And some research shows that talking about our emotions, labeling our emotions, expressing our emotions actually helps rewire our brain and process our feelings. So labeling what you're feeling, acknowledging what you're feeling is the way to deal with our emotions in a healthy way. And that's why we encourage people to reach out, seek help, talk openly, honestly about your feelings so that you feel less pressured and less overwhelmed. So the next question is, how do I avoid toxic positivity? I'm here to tell you that there are certain strategies for avoiding this self-imposed toxic positivity, which I also did. First, recognize your unhealthy emotions and tell yourself, give yourself the permission, allow yourself, and remind yourself that this is normal and an important part of the human experience. Identify and label those emotions as normal. This labeling is extremely important instead of trying to avoid, hide, block, fight, suppress our negative emotions, because we all, and I'm guilty of the same, we all want to just boost our happy, positive, fun experiences, and we want to avoid negative or painful experiences. That's why you need to talk to that one trusted person who you can feel completely vulnerable with, that one person who really gets you, who understands you. Seek support. You don't need too many. From that one person you know is non-judgmental, is a trusted friend, a therapist, a personal counselor, a parent, a neighbor, anyone who understands your feelings and emotions. A person can avoid imposing toxic positivity on others by encouraging people to speak more openly, more honestly about their entire rainbow of emotions, getting more comfortable with our unhealthy or negative emotions, avoiding trying to have a positive response to everything a person says, recognizing that intense negative emotions often coincide with powerful positive emotions, such as when we have profound grief, which signals intense love. We don't have to tell people to not feel sad or not feel the grief, because again, grieving is a natural human experience and emotion when we feel a sense of loss. And telling people to snap out of it because it makes you uncomfortable is not the healthiest way. So how I have learned to avoid toxic positivity, and I'll tell you in the simplistic way, instead of telling someone, it'll all be fine, tell them, how can I help you? Instead of telling someone, you should always smile and be more positive, tell someone or ask someone, is everything okay? Is there anything wrong? How can I help you? Instead of telling someone, don't worry about it, everything will be fine. Ask, what can I do to make it less stressful for you? Instead of saying, well, it could have been worse. Tell people, I'm so sorry, it must be so hard for you. It must be so difficult for you to deal with what you're dealing with. I'm here for you. Can I do anything to make it better? Simple. This is not hard to do. Telling others, and we all do this, don't be so negative. This is toxic positivity. Telling someone, validating what the other person is going through by saying, it must be so hard for you. Tell me more about it. Would you like to talk about it? Instead of telling someone, always look for the bright side, because I'm that person, I look for the bright side, tell others, It's so difficult to see the good in this situation, and I understand that. However, we'll make sense of it when we can. Assuring the person that I am here for you, I care, and I am there. Telling others everything just happens for a reason and being dismissive or denying what the other person is experiencing or trying to quick fix, I've done the same and I'm guilty of the same and I'm learning. The right way is, would you like to talk about it? This is very, very powerful. Just encouraging the person to talk and express, and so that you listen without interruption. You listen without judgment. You listen without jumping into the advice giving, because sometimes, and mostly, people just want to be heard. People just want to be understood. Telling somebody, think happy thoughts. Toxic way of dealing with things. Telling others, I know things can get really tough and hard. I am here for you. Just saying these simple words, you will see it'll have a profound impact on your relationship, you will learn how to actually practice being positive in the healthy way. And like I said, I am learning. I make these mistakes every single day, but I'm here to tell you that we're in it together. Together we are learning, we're growing, we are sharing, and this is how we're going to build a better future generation. Thank you for all the love, for all the support and encouragement. Keep smiling, keep shining, keep inspiring.